All right, everybody, welcome into another edition of Keeping Up with Collinsville Athletics. And Coach, we're here at Harvest Church of God Prophecy here in Collinsville, Alabama, who is the sponsor of the show. And I'm telling you right now, this is a beautiful facility right here, beautiful backdrop behind us, and they've been excellent. We've been out here all day kind of hanging out with them, and to have you in here is another pleasure, Coach, and we'll get right down to it if you're ready to roll.
Ready to go.
Coach, I want to thank you again for sitting in with us. I got to come check out your game last week. It was a phenomenal football game. It's crazy. Had some ups and downs in it. You guys come out on the short end of the stick, Coach, but definitely some coachable moments, and you had to see some things in there you liked as well.
Yeah, we played pretty hard. The best thing when you start looking at the stats, we only had one negative play. You know, Mason got sacked one time. He got forced out of the pocket 2 or 3 times, but he got positive plays. So every year we've played them, we've had way more than one minus yardage situation.
Absolutely. It's a perennial. I mean, you don't have to. I don't know how much more you can say about them. The guy's got 7 rings since 2014, and they've been, stat after stat after stat. They're up there in the best programs in the state of Alabama. It's kind of a measuring stick, but you knew going into that game it's going to be a war as usual. It is every year you play them guys, but at halftime you go in 22-22, I believe, is the score.
Yes, it was.
And then what was the message at halftime there?
The message was it's 4 quarters, and we played really hard. We had it 4 times, and they had it 3. Both of us had really good drives. We got the ball first and drove it down and scored, and then they matched us every time. And then, the second we had to punt the second, not punt. We threw an interception. The second time, but we scored 3 out of 4, and they scored 3 times in a row. So all 3 times we both had the ball was very time-consuming.
Coach, you're an old-school mentality. You don't like watching games like that where it's back and forth shootout, do you? You'd rather have the 17-14 war, defensive war, wouldn't you?
Well, it was there was a lot of good defense in that game. Both teams, their offense is really was functioning high, and our offense functioned really high in the first half. And the second half, it got away from us pretty quick. Like I said, we had it 4 times, and they had 3 in the first half, so we kicked off to them to start the second half, and they drove it down and scored. And then we dropped a couple of passes to keep the drive alive. The second time, had to punt and didn't get off very good. They got a short field, and then they scored. And then we're behind 6. They go for 2 times, and we're behind 16-0, which is going to be hard enough. And then the next time we get the ball, we try to do a little trick. We outsmart ourselves a little bit, and we threw an interception on a reverse pass.
So Gavin threw it.
Yeah, on a reverse pass, and that's another short field for them. So you can't give them short fields. We gave them 2 short fields, and then they were ahead 24 points. And the game's about over now. I mean, we can't get them off the field enough to come back from 24. So we got to match them as they go. So we kind of changed our strategy a little bit. In the first half we run, I don't know how many plays. We probably ran 50 offensive plays in the first half, and in the second half we run about 12.
Yeah.
So we changed our philosophy a little bit. And
there's a lot of positives you can take out of that first half when you watch your team, and watching Mason read the defenses, watching guys get open the secondary, your line was executing. When you go watch that film, that first half offensively, you had to be pleased, though. I mean, you was moving the ball at a pretty good clip.
Yeah, we knew our skill guys would be okay, but our line did all right.
Yeah.
We in the first half we threw 1 touchdown pass and ran for 2, and we had first and goal on about the 10, both the two we run in there, and we ran it 3 times in a row. And not many people run it in.
No, not against that bunch.
On 5, and so our line did okay. We did okay. We still got lots of work to do there, and we're working and moving people around, and we're going to play some more. We didn't play as many young people last week against 5 because it's 5,
Gotcha.
And because they're young guys.
Right.
So, but now in the next 3 or 4 weeks, we're going to try to build a little depth.
Gotcha.
We got some. I got an 8th grader, and Owen Pettis is going to be a good football player.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, he came from 5. And
really?
his mother married a guy from that lived in our district. They moved into our district this past summer, and he's going to be a good one. So he's in a rotation as an 8th grader on the offensive line, and he's going to be a good one for us. And we got a couple more. Christian Soto, his older brother Luis Soto, has been starting on the offensive line, but he's a 9th grader, and we're going to get him into a rotation on the offensive line.
Yeah.
And a little center, Grant Griggs. and we're going to rotate him at center some. And he's a 9th grader.
I take it he's kin to all the Griggs.
He is. He's Shannon Griggs' son. That's Luke's nephew.
I got you. Yeah.
Luke's nephew. So, and he's going to be a good one. He's really come on the last couple of years. He's really improved. He's really, really improved. And so those 3 young guys are going to get in a rotation with some of the other guys in the next couple of weeks to see if we can build some depth with them.
No doubt.
And see what happens.
You got a good problem to have there if you got a lot of young, good offensive linemen, because looking around this area of the state, a lot of linemen's lacking in a lot of schools. Even some of the dominant schools don't have a lot of depth at linemen. You seem to have some guys coming on and some young ones, so that's definitely a positive right there. Coach, before we dive into this week's opponent, I got to ask you about the helmets. The silver helmets, was those the covers or were they actual helmets?
That's the helmet skins. They call them skins.
Yeah.
And Coach Ray did a fundraiser. He's in the Duck Club. I'm going to let y'all meet Coach Ray. And Coach Ray is going to do a show, and Coach Tidmore, the offense coordinator, defense coordinator, is going to do one of the next couple of shows.
Cool.
And so you can talk to them. But he did a fundraiser with his Duck Club and donated it to the school. So he paid for most of the skins, and then we did a roadblock, some things to pay for the rest of them. But I like to do stuff for the kids. A pretty helmet don't win a football game, and they say a pretty field don't win a football game, and pretty uniforms don't win a football game. But it makes the kids feel like they're appreciated a little bit.
That's right.
And sometimes when you look good and you like what you got, you play a little harder, and it means something. So we like to get the kids something.
No doubt.
And that's what we got them this year. We got them some helmet skins, and it changes the color. And we're gonna wear it. We wore them that last game. We're gonna wear them a couple more games. Then we're gonna take them off.
Gotcha.
And play with our regular helmets until we'll decide when. It'll be probably sometime in the playoffs, and hopefully if we get we'll try to do it past the first round. We've been to the first round. If they can get past that, we may put them things back on and lose it a little incentive maybe.
I'm going to tell you something. They're not easy to put on and take off. Not as easy.
We were supposed to get those things the Monday or Tuesday before the 5 game, and they came in at 9:30 Friday morning.
Oh man!
And no, they're not easy at all.
I'm sure you had to have several people.
There was some people that came up, some of the coaches came up, and I've got some volunteer coaches, and Coach Osborne, Heath Osborne, he does a lot of stuff for me, and he came up. He took off work. Came up to help those guys, and they worked hard, got them on.
I've seen that process, and it's not easy.
You take everything off. You take the face mask off. You take all the chin strap connectors off, the buckles, and then you put them on, and you put all that stuff back. So, and those the face mask. It's not like the old timey face mask. I mean, they're on the flex helmets. You got to have a special tool.
Yeah.
And
it's not like the old Mark Duper face mask. Or the Larry Zonka.
There you go.
All right, Coach. We're going to fast forward here to this week's opponent. You guys have Whitesboro, correct?
We do.
What have you seen from them on film?
Pretty athletic guys. They got a really good running back. Don't know the guy's name. He's number 1. He's really good. The quarterback can run around and spin it, and they play a lot of people. Big offensive line. If you watch them on film, their defense is pretty vanilla. They do most of the same stuff. But Coach Tidmore, like I said, is our offensive coordinator. So me and him watch film, all the time, and he mostly wants to fast forward through the other team's offense and just watch their defense because he's preparing against their defense. The last couple he's always wanted to watch their offense. He said they do some really good stuff.
He may pick up something.
Yeah, they do some really good stuff, and he likes their offensive guys, and always wants to watch. So they do a really good job. That's what I'm going to do, a really good job. And a couple of years we had a shootout with them up there, but they recovered a bunch of onside kicks against us. We got ahead by 21 in the first quarter, and then we got ahead by 20.
I remember that game.
Yeah, we had to kick a field goal. We went behind. We went behind they scored with 48 seconds left in the game to go ahead at their place. That. And it's Mason's 8th grade year, and Keaton is still playing.
Keaton DeBoer.
And we run the kickoff back. They squib another one down through there, and we run it back. We're at the 50 or a little bit on their side of the 50, a little bit on the other side of the 50. And we clear everybody out, and we got a little play for a special like that where we run Keaton across. We clear everybody out and drag Keaton across the middle and hit him between the linebackers and we hit him like that, and he kind of broke it. He got down inside the 10, and we had a little timing controversy with the referee, and we had one timeout left, but he went out of bounds, and but they run the clock, and then the guy on our side had told us the clock was going to stop, and we turned around, the clock's running. So I have to use my timeout, and we kick a field goal.
Even with him going out of bounds.
Yeah. People, that's confusing when to stop it, when not to stop it. That's right. And I've got a ruling on that since then. And the only time the clock runs, if you go out of bounds, is if you're forced out by the defense.
Gotcha.
They can restart the clock.
Gotcha.
But if you go out on your own trying to stop the clock, then it stops no matter what.
Right.
But they did anyway. That's a rule.
Gotcha. That's the ruling on it.
Yeah, I'm a walking, talking rule book sometimes. That's what that is.
That's a positive. Well, Coach, before we shut it down, I always like to turn it back over to the head coach and let him talk anything program related, any kind of message you'd like to get out to the people.
Well, we'd like for people to come out there. It's their senior night. You know, they'll have a lot of people, and they don't play in Huntsville. Their school's in Huntsville, close to Joe Davis Stadium over there, but they don't let them use Joe Davis Stadium. They're going to charge them too much, so they rent Gurley Elementary School's football field.
Wow.
Because they don't have football, obviously, so they rent that field, and this will be the third year they've rented, I guess, and so it's in Gurley. At Gurley Elementary School, so you can map quest that and get there. It takes a pretty good while to get there.
People need to make note of that. It'll be in Gurley, at Gurley Elementary School.
This is the second time we played there. Most all our guys know where it's at.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Well, Coach, I appreciate you sitting in this beautiful facility we're in today. This is a beautiful church right here, I'm telling you right now. And I appreciate them stepping up and being a part of the show, being the sponsor for the show. It really means a lot to us, and I'm sure it does to you guys as well.
Yeah, I appreciate you, and I appreciate these guys too.
Thank you so much. We're here in Collinsville, Alabama at Harvest Center, and sir, I'm going to let you introduce yourself to everyone.
Hey, Bo, I'm Pastor Jason Leftwich, and it is an honor to get to host you guys today.
Hey, it's the pleasure is all on our end, mine and Ernie's, I'm telling you.
Well, I was telling our folks know this from when we fed the football team the other night. My wife Holly has a great affection for Coach. She's known him for several years, and so to come into that kind of relationship again has been kind of fun for us.
Well, I'm telling you, when I pulled up here, you have a beautiful facility inside and out here. I'd like to rewind the clock a little bit and what led you to be the pastor here at church.
Well, Holly and I had been praying and asking God for the right door to open. And I had been a minister within the Church of God and had been in contact with the bishop here in the Church of God of Prophecy, the state overseer. And this door opened up. And the pastor here felt it was time for a season for him to leave, and he left, and the door opened up, and here we are.
Yeah, when you get to a place like Collinsville, Alabama, there is no strangers. I mean, everybody knows everybody. It's a tight-knit group. It's a tight family. And I know you want to bring that over here into the church, and you and I talked about it. You're always looking to grow, and this
Definitely.
is a place that's looking to grow. And anybody in or around the Collinsville area, you don't have to live in Collinsville to come
That's
here.
it.
Talk to everybody why they should come here, because it was a special place you guys are trying to build here.
Right now, we're trying to build a culture here at the church, and that's surrounding the name Harvest. We're wanting to reach out and bring people in, and by any means necessary, so to speak. Like I said, we fed the football team the other night. We're getting ready in October. We're going to have first responders breakfast here and honor our, first responders around here. And so we're just trying to make our presence known. I know a lot of people have been hurt by church in the past.
Yeah.
And let them know that this is a place where they can receive healing and they can be loved.
That's right.
And be accepted for who they are.
That's right.
And find a place to help us build.
Hey, and we don't have to dress like Ric Flair when we come here either.
That's
you just
it.
show up. That's the main thing,
That's
right?
it. That's all.
I mean, that's the message I'm getting, and
That's
I'm just talking to
exactly
Teddy
right.
about the church, and now you talk about that. Just come as you are. We just want you here.
That's it. Come as you are. I mean, I don't wear a suit every Sunday. I wear, matter of fact, this next Sunday I'm wearing suspenders and a bow tie.
Nice.
No coat, no tie.
Awesome.
And we just want to make people feel welcome. Like I said, I've been hurt in church. We all have been.
That's right.
And I want to make people feel welcome in so many different ways that at least one of them will keep them.
That's right. No doubt.
And if you're looking for a place to feel belonged and a place to feel accepted and a place to build the kingdom.
That's right.
And find your place. Find what you're supposed to be doing. Because each one of us have a calling.
Absolutely.
I mean, you've got this that you're doing an outstanding job with. Coach's football. I couldn't do what he does.
Me either.
Holly tells me I'm too nice of a guy at times. So, I mean, each of us have a place, and this is where I am as a pastor, and leading folks and building people and encouraging them to find their calling and their giftings.
That's right.
And start using them.
That's right. And really, if you do not, it's biblical that you do that. If you do not do that, you're selling yourself and the kingdom and the Lord short. I agree with you 100% on that. We just did a study on that ourselves, and I'm telling you, I agree with you 100%. This would be a great place for somebody to get in here youth-wise too, and that's who we want to dial in on now, because a lot of people watch this. Talk about that, your idea and your vision for the youth moving forward.
Well, right now we're trying to get our youth pastor. He's a phenomenal young man, and he's 21, so he can identify with them. You know, they can't identify with a 47-year-old with gray in their beard as much as they can him. And you know, most youth ministry, and you know this as well as I do, is all about connection. If they feel connected to you, if they feel loved, if they feel accepted, and they can talk to you about anything, that's what they want.
That's right.
That's what they're longing for. Not necessarily, you know, to be preached at all the time, which, you know, that's our calling, but to make them accepted and make sure that they know they have a safe place to come to.
That's right.
And that's what it's about.
We see all the madness out here in the world, and my preacher talks about that all the time. He says, hey, there's a lot of craziness going on in the world, and it's easy to complain about it, but hey, if you ain't handling what's in your own walls here,
that's it,
and what you're doing in your church and in your household, then why are you complaining about the world? You got to get it done here, and talk to people about that a little bit, how you guys are going to do things the right way, you're going to build it the right way, and you want people to come be a part of it as this journey starts and continues to grow.
You know, every church has a starting point, and I've said for years, every church has a personality.
That's right.
And finding out that personality and finding out what works here. You know, we have some great friends. You know, my buddy Caleb Rackard pastors the Methodist church in town, and you know, what works at the Methodist church may not work here.
Correct.
And finding out what program works and what we can do to fit in. And this is an awesome ministry, being able to do this like we're doing today. This is awesome. I would have never thought 10 years ago that this would be a possibility to be able to reach out, and just trying to find people that they're gifted and talented, saying, come on, and help us build what's here. I know this church has a great heritage, this church has a great reputation, and I want to see it restored to what it used, not just restored to what it used to be, but better than it's ever been, and healthier than it's ever been.
And I want to throw one other thing. I consider you a pastor, from what I know, and the difference between a pastor and a preacher is a big deal.
It is.
A pastor is going to hold you accountable for doing the right things. It's going to help you grow. A preacher is going to tell you kind of what you want to hear a lot of times to keep the numbers up. You're going to do it the right way, but also they're going to grow spiritually when they come here. Talk about that a little bit.
That's my goal. I've always thought as a pastor, you know, the book of Ephesians says that it's the pastor's job to equip people for the work of the ministry. I'm not just here to preach and visit and do I'm here to equip them to go out and do what they're called to do. And so if I don't do that, I'm lagging behind in that aspect of the job responsibility.
That's right off the bat.
And so I want to make sure that they find out that this is a place, number one, where they're accepted, number two, where they can find their calling and gifting, and then number three, they know they can function in that calling and gifting, and that they have that backing from the leadership. I've been in places before over the years in my ministry where, you know, I wasn't necessarily accepted for the gifting and the talent that I had.
Gotcha.
I was tolerated, not necessarily celebrated, if you will.
Yeah.
And I want people to know we're not just going to tolerate their gifting, but we're going to celebrate it.
Makes sense.
We need folks, we need musicians, we need singers, we need, you know, folks that feel called to work with kids. You know, folks that know how to work with you. We need all of those people that can function and know how to do things.
That's right.
I don't know it all. I readily admit it. I don't know it all.
My wife does, though, but go ahead. She'll see this, and I'm just kidding, but go ahead.
Counseling will be provided afterwards if we need to. But, you know, and that's the thing. Most people have got to get out of their heads that a lot of people in church think they know it all.
That's right.
They've been in church all their lives. They know how it ought to be run. They know how things should be done. And sometimes, even in this day and age, there are some things that we need to change.
Right.
And we need to address differently than we did 20 years ago.
100%.
And so it's finding the right culture and the right attitude and the right shift that needs to take place.
And, you know, the Bible, Jesus used all kinds. God used all kinds. You know, Elijah, John the Baptist. These were not your normal guys.
No,
these
they
were
weren't.
Guys roughed around the edges. They look like Phil from Duck Dynasty and ate locusts and things. So it don't matter who you are.
That's it.
You're taking them.
That's it.
That's it. This is the right place for you guys. Pastor, before we shut it down, just like I did with Coach, I always like to kick it back to you, talk about anything related to the church.
And like I said, hey, if you're looking for a home church and you live within driving distance, and we would be more than happy to have you here at Harvest Center. And we would love to see God do what He's wanting to do here. Not necessarily what I want to do, but what His heart for the community is.
That's right.
And to see people who are broken restored. That's the main thing.
That's right.
And that's my heart's desire. I've been broken.
Oh man, me too.
So
buddy.
I know what it's like to have nobody help me and nobody to lift me up.
That's right.
And that's what I want to be for people.
Absolutely.
If they see me out and about in the community, they say, "Hey, there's Pastor Jason.
That's it.
If we need somebody to pray for, they know they can contact us, and they know that we're available."
That's awesome. Hey, I appreciate you and your sponsorship, and also for Collinsville. This community loves the show. They love Coach's show, and they love you guys sponsoring it. And you guys have already fed the football team, and that's just the beginning. There's a lot more stuff coming down the pipe. I appreciate you. Nice meeting you, sir. Thank you so much.